Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Tracy C. Jones, and I'm here today with Bill Calavani, one of my very dearest friends, second-time author with tremendous leadership. And today, one of my favorite days, it's new release day. And Bill has a book coming out called Real Estate Roadmap, The Realtor's Guide to Success. Bill, thank you so much for being here and talking to our audience about your newest release.
Gracie, it is my pleasure. And I'm very grateful and gracious for your crazy hard work that you do for me. You really make life easy.
Oh, I love hearing that. Well, I'll tell you what, to our listeners out there, Bill goes way back with us, way, way, way back. And as far as a gentleman with character, work ethic, brand, style, pizzazz, there is nobody like Bill Calavani. So when he approached me about writing this book on all the tips, the tools, the successes, the secrets of being successful in real estate, I jumped at the chance. And Bill, can you unpack the book? What made you write this book at this stage of your career?
That's simple. Tracy, I have been so blessed in life. And I mean, businessman of the year, business person of the year, business of the year. And then I was retired for 8 or 9 years. And I decided to get into real estate. And I thought, wow, this is going to be easy squeezy, lemon pleasy. I'm gonna do 20 sides or 20 sales the first year. And I basically interviewed with 2 or 3 companies, but where I landed was it was Prudential then, which is now Berkshire Hathaway. But when I started, Tracy, it was I'm a licensed agent. Now what?
Okay.
And whenever I shared an office with a gentleman, and every time I would ask this guy a question, it was like, dude, don't you know anything? And it was almost, I hated to go to him to ask him, how do you do this? How do you do that? Where do you find out, get this information? And lo and behold, I thought to myself, when I get to the point, I want to help as many people as I can.
Okay.
And anything that I have, Tracy, I am an open book. I share if I have a good mail piece, I don't have any bad mail pieces. If anything that I have available, I I want I want agents in my office or friends or that sell real estate. I want them to know that anything that I have that works, uh, they can have.
Hmm.
I designed a kind of an expense sheet. It would just kind of makes it easy for real estate accounting. Hey, here, take this. Maybe this will help your tax issue. And I just, I love helping people and love making a difference. And that's why I wrote it.
I love it. Now, how many years have you been selling real estate, Bill?
Uh, 9 years.
Just 9
But
years.
long before that, Tracy, I mean, I was involved in real estate in Pennsylvania. I bought and sold houses and rental properties most of my life.
Hmm. Hmm. And you
So
talk about you have been in love with sales since you were a little guy. I think a lot like Charles was. I mean, I think there was no doubt that he was destined to go into sales. And you share some of your early life experiences and what the value of for quality and waiting for what you want and not being impulsive. And you have a statistic on the back cover of the book. Can you share that with our listeners about what percentage are actually
it's
successful in real estate?
well, I don't want to look at the failure rate, 87%, but the success rate is only 13%. And you need to be very, very careful when you get into the business, Tracy. And that's some of the things that I share in my story and in my book. You need to have plenty of time and have a cushion of income because the first year your business literally sleeps. I talked about my first year. I think I sold 2 houses or 3 houses my first year. And I thought I was going to commit, I'm going to sell 20 houses. It's not like that.
Mhm.
So the first year, second year it creeps, the third year it reaps.
Mhm.
And that's true. Another thing that I kind of love about the book that you helped me write was that this book can apply to almost any kind of sales, Tracy. I mean, it's not just about real estate. It could be insurance. It could be about book sales. It could be about drug sales. It could be about automobiles. It could be about any kind, whatever you're selling. This
Right.
book could work for you.
Well, you have such a passion for it as you do for everything because you've had a lot of different career things in your life, like I have. But you really talk about the power of repeats and referrals. And you are just a constant source of getting out, interacting with people. Folks, in Bill's book, he has just a lot of neat little hooks or icebreakers, or rather than say, "What do you do?" Do you remember that part about when they say, "What do you do?" rather than say a real estate agent? How do you answer them?
Well, if I'm talking to someone, and I love to make friends with her bug, or I'm Mr.
Hey, Bill, can you
Personality,
hold
or
on for 1 second? You
yes,
just froze up right there. So can we back up a
yep,
little bit? I'll do a cut
yeah.
here and go ahead in and start with you started with I love to make friends with everybody, and then we'll do a break, stop for a second, and go on that. I love to make friends with everybody, and you froze up.
I love to make friends with everyone that I meet, whether I'm at the gas pump, a dry cleaner, a restaurant. And when I talk to people, I always introduce myself. I always wear my name badge. Well, my magnet just fell off, but I wear it anyway. I want people to know what I do, but I always ask them, "Oh, Tracy, what do you do?" And then typically they'll say, "And what do you do?" And my reaction is I don't come out with, "Oh, I'm a realtor." I always tell them I make people happy for a living. And that is always a puzzling question that demands an answer. And they say, "What do you mean you make people happy for a living?" I sell real estate. I help people buy and sell homes. And that's one of the happiest moments in a person's life. And they kind of look at me, you're right. And another thing that I try to do when I introduce myself, whenever I hand out a business card, Tracy, I always pull from the inside of my pocket a fresh $2 bill. And I introduce myself and I'll say, "Now, when you look at that $2 bill," and I give them a card, "remember me. I'm $2 bill. Whenever you look at that, I want you to remember me. And when you're thinking about buying or selling a home, I want you to think about that."
I
So,
love that.
that's easy. I was at a restaurant Sunday with my wife, and we were sitting at the bar. We know the kind of the bartender, the restaurant manager, and of course, I had my badge on. But we got to talking to this couple around the corner at the bar, and I handed her a $2 bill, and then I handed her a card. She says, "Oh my word, $2 bill and your name is Bill." She said, "That's the most fantastic thing I've ever seen in my life." I said, "What do you do?" She said, "I'm a realtor."
I love it.
So
Well, then she would know. Yeah.
yeah, so she said, "This is amazing."
No, Bill.
Anyway, so
Yeah.
I try to make it easy to make friends.
Yeah. Well, and you not only for the folks when you get this read, Bill isn't just
Success of
about
anyone.
well priming the pump to get a sale, but you're also a resource to so many people throughout the book. I think making somebody happy isn't just about if you get the sale. There's some stories in the book you tell where people got kind of involved with people that they weren't sure what was going on, or people not calling them back, and you always kind of come into the rescue, which is
Well,
whether it benefits you or not, which is really a beautiful thing.
a couple things to touch on there, and again, one of my chapters in the book is always be available.
Yes.
I answer my phone. I respond to text. I respond to email. There's 9,000 realtors in the area that I live in and work in, and if I'm not going to be available, chop chop, they're going to pick up the phone and call someone else,
Mhm.
Tracy. I had a closing this morning, and it was a referral from a referral. Actually, it was a referral from a referral from a referral. So I sold a gentleman. He did some work for me. A contractor. He referred his daughter. She ended up referring someone. They ended up referring this person to me. So it's an out of state buyer from Oklahoma. He's going to work at Regent University. Uh, so it's when you stay in touch with your people, that 13%. My referral rate is well over 50%. And
Mhm.
it's all about making friends who have friends who have friends who have friends. And a new agent might say to me, "Well, Bill, everybody knows a realtor." Well, I have news for you, Tracy. Not everyone knows a realtor. And if they do know a realtor, there's a very good chance that that realtor's not staying in touch with them.
Mhm.
So you want to have be that first thought that comes to mind when they say, I'm thinking about selling my house. And that's another thing. If I'm at a restaurant, Tracy, and someone gives me ice service, I always introduce myself and I tell them, "Hey, oh, by the way, here's $2." They call me $2 Bill. And if you would like extraordinary service pertaining to real estate, whether you're buying or selling, or whether you want to refer someone to me, just like the service that you give your friends, tell them to call $2 Bill." So
I
it's
love it.
just, and I
Yeah.
think, you
Well,
know,
Bill, I know I have real estate agents from when I lived in St. Louis and Austin that still send me cards and I still keep track of. Because guess what? I still have friends back there that may be looking to move, or I know people that may not be coming to Pennsylvania. So you're right. You just don't know. And if they did it good for me, I'll refer somebody. I don't care if it's 20, 30, 40 years later.
I write letters every day. And, I just, before you and I talked, I just wrote a note, and I always ask for a referral in it as
Yes.
well.
Yes. Yes.
So,
I
I mean,
love
you
it.
never know.
Well, and I love the fact that you also, because everybody now is like, oh, technology, technology, technology. Okay, but you have a lot of old school stuff, like direct mailers in there, which I love because I have one of our authors that does old school direct mailers. And guess who's the number one selling book every month? Him. So I love
Wow.
that you talk about, hey, here's the reality of the world we live in, but there's also some great things that are tried and true that that you got to use. And I love that you really talk about the fact that, when you go for real estate as a career, it can't be a hobby. You're either in or you're out. And if you want to be successful like you and really make a difference and build your business so it leaps, you got to put the front end work in. And
I
always be hungry for continuing to keep it fresh, and touch points which is really all the things you cover in your book.
Another chapter is show up. And that's one of the early chapters in the book. I see realtors that get into the business, and I see them come and go. Uh, but I come to the office every day. Yesterday, I had a showing uh, at 8 o'clock in the morning, kind of at the south end of Virginia Beach. I was at the office at 7 o'clock yesterday morning printing stuff. I wanted to add a few nice touches to this presentation. And I don't do that every day, but it's show up, learn who are your admin people, who are the other realtors, who are the learn meet your marketing people. We have a brilliant marketing team, and that I had an ad agency for 26 years. So what are they going to teach me about advertising? Whoa, it's like they forgot more than I'll ever know.
I
And
know.
with social media and all the electronic stuff and SEO and SEM, and
Yeah, I
don't be
love it.
afraid to ask questions and look for help.
Okay. So, Bill, and I know the answer to this because I've read it so many times, but for our listeners out there, if they're new to real estate, if they've been in real estate for decades, or if they're contemplating real estate, is there something in this for all of them?
What I tried to touch on or tried to hit was, uh, of course, real estate roadmap. But this book is not only for, I initially wanted it for new agents, but there's agents that get into the business and they kind of stutter and stammer around for one reason or other, maybe motherhood, maybe fatherhood, maybe, and they don't really do a lot, so it can pertain to them. Or you can take a seasoned pro, uh, it's been in the business for 25 years, and it's like, I never thought of that. Or,
Mhm.
you really shed a different light on that subject than so the book can be for a broad spectrum of salespeople and realtors.
I love it. Well, thank you for that. So, for our listeners out there, if you're getting this email, listening to this podcast, this interview, today's launch day for Real Estate Roadmap, a realtor's guide to success. So, please be sure go over to Amazon or to Tremendous Leadership, pick up a copy, and we'll have Bill's contact information as well, so you can stay in touch with him. Because Bill, you are one sharp individual, and if I ever need to buy property in Virginia, I'm coming to you first and foremost.
Well, I can make a referral in Pennsylvania too, oh, by the way.
Yes. Okay. Well, there you have it. I love it. Well, Bill, thank you. Thank you again for the honor of entrusting us with bringing your wisdom out here. I love that no matter what stage of life you're in, you're always looking to make life better for somebody else. And that's really what this book is all about.
Tracy, you're the best.
You,
Thank
you're,
you. You're always so encouraging. If I ever need pumped up, all I have to do is get on Facebook and send you a message, and you give me this tremendous just compliment, and thank you.
you're
Thank you for
welcome.
being you.
You're welcome, Bill. Well, I hope this book is a huge success. And to our listeners out there, thank you for your support of all our authors. We wouldn't be around doing what we do if you weren't here to support us. And as our founder, Charlie Tremendous Jones, famously said, you'll be the same person 5 years from now that you are today, except for two things: the people you meet and the
And the
books you
people you
read.
meet.
You just met Tremendous Bill. Be sure and grab a copy of Real Estate Roadmap, A Realtor's Guide to Success. Get one for somebody in your life, or if you're in any kind of sales, some wonderful wisdom in there. Thank you again to our tremendous tribe. Make it a tremendous day. Bye bye.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Bill.